Today on The Grid, it's Blind Photo Critique Day. My co-host is from Kyrgyzstan. He loves gyros with lamb. He's the king of Siam. He's a friend of Jean-Claude Van Damme. He was disappointed when they chose Bram. He's a big fan of Wham. It's the real Rocket Man. Eric Kuda is here. We've got some awesome giveaways, and it all starts in just 30 seconds.
The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the tripod alternative that is changing the world. Everybody has a Platypod. You should too. Go to platypod.com.
Man, I trashed that intro there, didn't I? I trashed that intro. Anyway, let's put that behind us and let's just enjoy what is the day where we crush photographers' hopes and dreams. It's Blind Photo Critique Day, and I'll talk about that in just a second. It's going to be a funky day, folks. We had a ton of entries, and some of them are...
Well, we just have to tell it like it is.
We have to tell it like it is. Anyway, my co-host joining us all the way from his launch pad in space.
Yeah.
Mr. Eric Kuna.
20, 30 feet away from you.
He's about 20, 30 feet away from me. Anyway, good to see you again, Mr. Kuna.
Yeah, great to see you, Scott.
Hey, before we jump into this, we had a lot to cover, so I can't talk for how long, but just real quickly, man, did we have a great Photoshop World last week.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
it was awesome.
One of our staff members sent around a list of comments that people, and so many of the people that commented had been to the real in-person Photoshop World. Hey, I'm going to read you one here. I'm going to read it right off my phone. So a friend of mine, and I think she's been to 9, 10 Photoshop Worlds, sent me a note, and I'm going to read it to you here. And this is right after the conference. She wrote, here we go. Photoshop World was amazing. Great job. It was as close to the original as you could make it.
Yeah.
And we did all the stuff. We had the Guru Awards. We had the opening keynote. Have we put the keynote movie online yet, Mr. Kuna?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
It's going to go public this afternoon.
Oh, it goes public this afternoon. We have the keynote movie, which we had a space theme this year. And we have a very cute keynote movie. It was a big hit.
Which I did not choose.
Eric did not choose, but I told him, I said, oh, Eric, I got an idea. You're going to love it. Space, the whole Jeff Bezos and everybody going to space and all.
It's really good.
That's what we chose. Good. It actually came together really well. And Christina and the video team, they were very clever. They came up with some really good stuff, and it worked out just great. So hope you get a chance to watch that. We got some giveaways today. We're giving away the multi-accessory kit from Platypod right here. It's got all these little goodies for your Platypod. We know you already have a Platypod, so this is the next
all
logical
the accessories for it to make it even cooler.
Yeah, it actually is a really, really good kit. It's very, very popular. We're giving away a copy of my latest book, which is the Lightroom 7-point system. But it'll only be my latest book for a little while because I just finished another book today, yesterday. So yesterday it is the travel photography book. So that's going to be coming out for the holidays. So that's coming up, and
we also have the Nik Collection 4. We're going to be giving away the whole entire Nik Collection 4 to somebody.
Yes, and we want to welcome On1 Software. On1 is giving away their No Noise AI. We're big on no noise for rocket shots, right, Mr. K?
Oh yeah, you know what? It's. I was just saying this morning is I haven't checked out No Noise AI.
We will be.
I'll have to check out No Noise AI. I mean, that's how it happened. I mean, right now. I've been on DxO's Pure Raw because I was on Topaz. Somebody told me check out DxO, so you check it out, and theirs is better. So you just kind of, figure out what's best for you.
Anyway, we're excited to be giving away all those great prizes today, and tell them how they enter, Mr. K. And I'm going to.
So all they're going to do is they're going to leave us a comment in the comments. Tell us where you're from, if you got any questions, stuff like that. But tell us what you want to win in the comments, and then we're monitoring that, and we'll pick a winner at the end of the show. There you go.
That's how it goes. All right, let me get.
And then now we're getting ready to hopefully have a positive photo critique
so let me just
day.
real quick just tell you what we're going to do here. So it's Blind Photo Critique Day. If you're not familiar with that, we have asked our viewers to send in pictures from 3 of their best pictures. We said send us 3 of your best pictures, and then we're going to give an honest critique. But to give an honest critique, we're not going to be mean, but we're just going to tell you how it is. And so, I put a link now when I put the link up to get the critiques, and I go, make sure you're ready to accept a critique, and I give them an article where we talk about what a blind critique is like. The reason it's blind is we don't want to embarrass anybody. We don't want to say anybody's name, so there's no name shown, and we don't even know. We don't know who they are.
Unless you put a watermark across your whole photo, then.
Right, yeah, if you put a watermark. I don't think anybody did today. I think I was able to see some of the images, and I tell you, there are two trends that you're going to see today in these blind critiques.
Okay.
Number one, overprocessing. Like way overprocessing to the extent that it's almost like the old HDR that we thought we turned our back on. Number two is you're going to see people who took two really good shots and then a shot that's absolute trash and you can't even believe
you're
it.
like, did you hand that to another photographer?
What in the hell happened with this last shot? Did you hand your camera to somebody else? It was just on your roll? I don't know. So you're going to see a lot of that today, but we're going to dive right in. We're going to go 2 minutes on each one. Hit the timer, Mr. Kuna. Let's go. And we're going to start with our very first one. All right, so we're at 3 images is what we should be seeing from everybody, right?
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So photographically, I think it's all pretty nicely done.
Yeah, that wasn't that bad.
But here's the problem. These are all way overlit.
Yes, especially that first one. That first one is a great shot that just, like, it's flashy.
Yeah, but you know what it is? What we're trying to do with flash is replace natural light.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to look like I turn my flash up to 100. All of your flash looks like it's at 100. You gotta back it off and make it subtle. If you really want to see a great example of this, because it would fit very well with like the photo you have here, go look at Joe McNally's work.
Oh yeah, well, because he's like the master of blending.
He is, but you can really quickly look at his stuff and see two things that he does. I mean, Joe does there. I do not want to minimize what one of the greatest photographers.
I get what you're saying. The two main things.
Two things that you will see is he uses something you need to be working on, which is called fall off, where the face is bright and then it gets gradually darker. It doesn't go to black, but it gets gradually darker. In other words, you're doing a portrait of someone, their face is the focus, their face should be bright, and then it should gradually get darker. You can do that in a number of ways. You can do it in post-production. You can do it with flagging your flash. There's a lot of things you can do. You're not doing any of them, so that's step one. The other thing that Joe does is he gels his flash. You are not gelling your flash, so the light looks white and it looks unnatural. It looks very flashy, right? And people look better with warmer skin, and everybody here,
they kind of have like a blue tone and like a more of just like a cool white, and then you can see behind there's a bunch of tungsten light in the bar, and your eye just goes to that unbalanced light.
Yeah, and if you want to nail this shot, you can't have everybody kind of evenly spaced. Go look at Annie Leibowitz's group shots that she does for Vanity Fair. They're phenomenal, but Annie would have grouped 3 people together and 2 people together. They would have had their own space, and then she would have lit each person individually. So this is way overlit. You're not gelling anything. This is probably the best one because the overlighting isn't as obvious, but it's still overlit. And you're not doing the fall off. So while you have the basics of photography down, like your composition's good and all that, your locations are good. You got a lot of the right stuff.
That's the one thing to like say here is like it definitely is not bad. It's a good foundation. You just have to sculpt light better. That's it.
Yeah, but you can fix this. This is easy to fix. You could take these images up by a dramatic amount. Right. So all right. So that's it. Right. That's one, and I started off with a pretty good one. It's actually good photography. So don't take me wrong. It's just when you see something like, ooh, they could fix these 2 things, and man, that would help a lot. Okay, here we go. Next one. All right, we call this double amputee bird.
Yeah, bird with no feet.
Duck doing nothing. And okay flower. All right, so technically, did you do this right? Eric, I'm going to ask you a round of questions about this photo. How's the exposure?
Yeah, technically it's good.
Exposure good?
Yeah, focus.
Did they use the right lens?
Yes, they got that background.
Is it sharp and in focus?
Sharp, yeah.
Guys, this is exactly what I talked about in my keynote presentation at Photoshop World. You've gotten all of the technical stuff right, but that's just the first step. You're missing I need to make a good bird photo. You're just covering the technical stuff, and you're got the technical right. It's important to have those, but this bird is not doing anything interesting, and you cut off his feet. This duck is not doing anything. It's just, yep, that's a duck. Check mark. Like if you went to Wikipedia and said, "What's this duck look like?" Like that.
That's usually why those animal shots have gesture, like the animal's doing something that you normally wouldn't see. It's the same with humans. You want a gesture.
Yes. And the flower, it's okay. I think you're going to see a flower a little later, and you're going to go, "Oh, that's what I should have done." So they're all okay. They're all technically good.
Technically, yeah. I mean, look at the background's out of focus.
Yes.
The flower. And
you just need
a
lot better looking flower. A lot better looking flower. And
this
a duck
doing something. It's not a camera setting problem, or this camera lens, or the camera body, or
that's it.
Any of that.
You got to stop worried about your lens and equipment. Start worried about your composition, and actually getting the animals. If you're going to be shooting wildlife, you got to get the animals doing something interesting.
Yeah, it's really with wildlife. I mean, from the times that I've shot, it's patience. It really is patience.
No, it is absolutely.
Yeah, and knowing the animals. Yeah.
There's a shot.
Ooh, I know where that is.
You know where that is?
Man, I definitely know where that is.
Yeah. Okay. So
I could see the 500 other photographers around.
Yeah, the 500 other photographers. The only thing you did here, there's two things you did wrong. For the classic shot, the sun is supposed to be touching the top of the arch, not the bottom of the other mountains. And also, number two, that does not look like f/22 for the f-stop.
Yeah, for the burst.
Because the burst would be thinner and brighter and more awesome at f/22. I don't think that's it. Let me go look at. Can we open it and see if it shows? Yep, look at that, f/11.
Yeah.
f/22 and wait for it to get a little higher, and you would have had that epic shot. Still not bad. I mean, come on, it's still pretty good. All right, so, but I just, that would have fixed that. This is all right. I think what you're relying on is the clouds, because it's a great cloud scene.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome clouds, good light.
But let me ask you a question.
There's some distracting things.
Why did you leave a road sign in the middle of your photo? Come on, you got a big road sign down here.
That's
you got a telephone pole and another sign. Like, come on.
Yeah, because I know exactly where they shot that. That's on the road to Capitol Reef, which that is Capitol Reef National Park.
And this is nice for a daytime shot, because it's obviously shot later in the day because you're looking at the light. It's not bad. It's not killer. It's all right. I think in this case, the clouds. This is going to sound weird when I say this. The clouds might be distracting.
I could get what you're saying, yeah.
And I don't know if the clouds were dropped in afterwards. Like a simpler cloud scene would help the image, because it's just a lot going on here.
But very
overall,
busy.
Not bad.
Very busy,
not bad. There's some things you could do to tweak it a little bit, but not bad. I think you did a pretty nice job. I think it's all pretty good. We're going to look at one more, then we'll take a break. Hang on. All right. Here we go. 1. And number 2, and number 3.
Oh, we're all over the place there.
All right. This one is so over retouched. This, I would say that this is the maybe up for over retouched photo of the year on the grid. It's just kind of a blurry mess. Her eyes are way too contrasty.
You went almost to like taking the human side of it out.
Plasticky.
Yeah. Plastic, yeah.
Yeah, and the different skin tones. Her arm is green.
Well, and you've got the light, the hot spot on the forehead there too.
Yeah, that hot spot doesn't bother me too much. It doesn't look sweaty, but it is a little hot spotty.
Well, it's just with everything, it's kind of distracting.
Yeah, this is now we're going to switch to this shot, which is completely and totally different, and I'm not loving it, and I'm not loving these. I think they're both crunchy looking. Like you've kind of pushed these post-processing wise.
You definitely went to like make them look like paintings or some kind of like.
Take a look at the clouds. Look at the clouds. They have drop shadows.
Yes.
If your clouds have drop shadows, you've taken your post-processing way too far. So yeah, I mean, it's not a rockin' shot to begin with. It's not like whoa, but the fact that you've like you've pressed it so far. Look, do you not?
It's
look it's got drop shadows. Look at the drop.
Yeah.
That is a telltale sign. Like when I'm teaching
it's just
editing, I'm like,
overprocessed.
if you see drop shadows, you pushed it. This looks like you took the clarity and went to 100 and the texture and went to 100 and your highlights are too bright. You need some work on your post all the way together. Now, same thing here. It's not a particularly interesting subject. Yep, there's some bikes parked in the street. And look at the glows. There's glows around stuff. There's white glows. You need
like
to focus on your
it's
post.
almost like you're intentionally pushing the post to make a photo out of just a snapshot.
Yeah, yes.
That's what it is.
That's how it feels.
That's how it feels
These
to
aren't
me.
very good photos, so I'm going to process the crap
Yeah, so I'm
out
going
of
to
them.
change it so much that it becomes artistic when it's like, I just shot a snapshot of some bikes that were
I would
locked
say
up
shoot
with
better
the sun.
shots and do less post-processing.
I mean, it's not terrible.
Yeah, they're not terrible. They're not to sell your camera time or
Yes.
anything like that. They're not bad. And we can
just-
kind of see what you're trying to do, except for here. We can kind of see what you're trying to do.
Yeah, that
But
makes sense, right?
work on your post.
It's an okay photo that you're pushing the post processing to make it artistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just less is more. Just do less. Do less stuff. And I feel bad.
Especially on the
everybody's
portrait,
gotten
yeah.
hammered so far. I feel terrible.
Yeah.
I don't want to hammer, but I know we've got some great shots coming up, and we've got some other ones that are going to get hammered. But we're not going to hammer anybody till we come back from this short break. So coming up next, we're looking at more photos. We're going to do some shout outs, and we'll see you on the other side. Hang on.
Hi, I'm Jack Rosnicki, and I have a new class at kelby1.com on camera scanning. If you're like me and you have a barn full of slides and negatives and other stuff, what I did is I was able to do camera scans, which is very quick and efficient and very good quality, to convert all my old negatives and slides and prints into digital form, which makes my life a lot easier. And I'll give you a lot of tips and tricks on how to do that yourself. So come and watch my class at kelby1.com on camera scanning.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by B&H Photo, the professional source since 1973.
Hey everybody, Scott and Eric here. We're doing Blind Photo Critiques. Got a couple of quick shout outs for you.
Yeah, we got people joining all over the U.S., all over the world, too. So we got George from West Texas saying hi. We got Howard from Baltimore saying hi. Steve from Prescott, Arizona. Wayne from Miami in the house. And then John from the U.K. Then we got Janka from Slovakia. Slovakia. And then Gary from Key West joined us. Steve over there from Panama City Beach, where it is raining. And then we got David saying hi from Sweden. John from Illinois, Jeff from Seattle, and Rolf from Germany. We got people joining all over the world there.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us today. Let's zoom into the next one. Here we go.
Well, they're
Nice.
definitely going. They're going out at the right time.
All right. Nice. All right. This one is. I really like this one. I love your sunbeams and everything. I would only just say one thing. Your water doesn't look like you used an ND filter. It looks like you went to F22, which is the next best thing if you don't have an ND filter.
But yeah, that's what I was saying. The water's just not long enough.
Let me go look.
It's not long enough.
Let me go look. Let's see what they did here. Maybe I'm wrong.
F22.
No, F22. There you go. Okay, so F22.
And then they dropped down to ISO 50.
Yeah, they dropped the ISO
so
to the
they were trying the longest they could.
But I'm telling you what.
And you needed like a 3-stop or a 5-stop.
I like the soft post-processing. I mean, there's a lot of great things. I love the tone. They did a lot of good things here. It's probably a little crunchy.
Yeah.
It's a little, so back off your
post-processing. But I like the dreaminess of it.
Yeah, the dreaminess is great.
Yeah.
I would drop the post-processing by 20% and then and take an ND filter with you. So and this is very nice.
Yeah.
The only thing about this is I'm not quite sure where to look. I'm assuming it's this winding road here, but it's a beautiful shot overall.
And then you have the whole thing of it's like a wider angle distorted pano kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is not terrible.
Now this is really, look, we know you have an ND filter.
Yes.
There's your ND filter right there. And that's not the Accademia Bridge, that's the Rialto Bridge in Venice. And very nice. And you know, that waterway is heavily trafficked and it's very choppy and nasty, and you made it beautiful and smooth and silky with an ND filter. I know exactly where there's a little cafe right there. Like right there where you're standing, there's a little wall and a cafe. You got a great angle and great composition. It's just good. It's all good. And overall, you're just doing a really nice job. Just
the last one's definitely that one's the one.
That's my favorite. Yeah. But you know, I love Venice, so I'm predisposed to like it. All right, let's look at another one. Good job though.
Going out at the right time. That is going out at the right time.
Yep. All right, let's see what we got.
Speaking of time.
Okay, I'm going to start here. All right, I actually just wrote about this in my book. And the thing that I wrote was a trap that photographers fall into. This looks different than where I live, so it's interesting. In other words, they're taking a picture because, oh, look how cool this looks. I don't know what that is. Is that Havana? I don't know where exactly that is. I don't think it's Havana. But
no, it
could be Spain. I don't know where it's at, actually. But anyway, it's just a scene of nothing. It's like you're in this beautiful place with these beautiful scenes, and what do you got? Some traffic, and there's the city, and yep, that's what it looks like if you're standing there. But there's no character, there's no romance, there's nothing to draw me in, there's no story.
What do you want me? What do you want us to look at?
Yeah,
like is it the guy on the bike?
This is a snapshot.
Cars turning.
This is a snapshot taken with a nice camera. There's just nothing. This is it's just a half a car. It's just not a shot.
But I think you hit it on the head. That's what, when you see it as somebody who's taking photographs, you go, I've never seen this before, so it must be interesting.
Right. This is one that you share with your family.
Yes.
Remember when we were on this street? Remember how busy it was? But this is it's not good. I don't know what's going on. I know what you're trying to do.
I'm not even sure what you're trying to do.
Well, I think you're trying to show like some layers between the thing in the front and the wall.
It's just flowers running into a light pole.
And then your last one with the part of the car in it.
Yeah, now that would work if it was like the car, you were back and you see the frame of the car and it's like looking out onto a scene, but it had to be perfect. I know what you're trying to do there, again, like you're saying, but it's just nothing. It's a frame of a door of a car.
It's in bad light. You got a bunch of look at the rows of dead trees. Like what?
And
what
then
was
the mound
the
of
idea here? It's
dead stuff that they're going to burn or something.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. All right, so
but it definitely probably looks different than if you were from Florida.
Here's what your thing is. It's not a camera problem. It's not a lens problem. It's not a gear problem. Your exposures are fine and all that stuff. It's none of that. So this is not a camera issue. This is a vision and creativity issue. Go to 500px.com. type in the name of where these places were. Look at the images that people are putting up there, and you're going to go, oh, yeah, mine were just snapshots out of a moving car. You got to.
Yeah, I mean, you could get
Yeah.
yourself to the interesting place, but if you don't put yourself in front of the places that are interesting there,
that's some harsh stuff. All right, Mr. K.
It's like if you're going to go to Portugal, you go to Porto, right?
2/3 of these are for you. This first shot is really for no one.
Yeah,
Here we go.
Oh, that was from the last one, sorry.
All right, we'll start with this. This is a vacation family photo. Oh, there's the kids on the beach, and you took a shot, and it's a sunset. Sunset happens, by the way, every single day, everywhere in the world.
Yeah, it might mean more to you because you're on vacation there.
Right.
Might mean more to you because of the people in
Yeah,
it, but
you
it really
remember
is just a
what a great night it
shot
was. It's
of
not a bad
sunset.
picture, but
it's not bad.
It's a vacation. It's a family vacation photo.
Yeah.
All right, now this one looks like I came to make a picture.
Yeah, I love the composition there. You know, where you have the Milky Way core, even though it is dead center, it works the way the composition is because you got the landscape in the foreground, adding that landscape element, and then you've got the arch of the Milky Way
And it's lit
coming
with
down.
something. It's light
Yeah,
painted.
I mean, it's either light painting or just
All
light
right,
pollution.
so Mr. Kuna, what are we going to do to the post to make this look better?
Well, I would take first, and I'd actually, with the Milky Way shot, bump up the clarity, where a lot of times you wouldn't, where I wouldn't. It'll start cutting through that haze,
Oh,
you
yeah.
see it?
How about a little dehaze?
And then dehaze as well, but not too much because it'll start shifting it.
Right.
And the other thing we might do is actually, it's a little cool. We might pump it up, and you're gonna get some color in the Milky Way then.
Pardon
Bless
me.
you. And then the other thing that you could do is just start maybe pumping. I actually like the highlights. Well, you could try moving the highlights because you get that light pollution. But the highlight, if you start pulling it out too much, you're going to get some of the core missing there, but you don't. And then, but yeah, you're going. I don't know. My monitor, you're going a little far.
I am
underexposed.
going a little far. There's no doubt.
Yeah, you're definitely going far in the underexposed, but. Anyways, just cutting through it a little bit more.
I probably put too much contrast here.
Yeah, there you go, right in there. But yeah, what you did there is you cut through that kind of murkiness. You're shooting at such a high ISO, and you're shooting for that period of time, it starts getting washed out, and you have to cut through that washed out.
This one's even more washed out. Now you got a
Exactly.
little light pollution going on there too.
But we
right?
could do the same thing. And the other thing that's going on in this one is there is a green-blue tint to the whole photo. You can actually see it.
So we
bumped up the clarity.
A lot.
And then we don't want to add any texture. That'll just add noise to the stars. And then we want to probably take and warm it up just a little bit. And then it's got a little green tinge to the whole thing to me. But that's on my monitor. There you go. Right? But yeah, just cutting through that haze, bringing out the Milky Way. The other things you could do here would be to actually light paint with a brush that building up there to kind of make it a little bit more pronounced. That definitely works well. Yeah, bring some kind of like you light paint. And the other thing you could do there is actually warm up that a little bit too. So it doesn't have that, not that much, but just a little bit. Yeah, like
Nope,
that.
that much.
See what that did? It's like you added that life warmth to the front. Added a lot of
Good
drama.
efforts though, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, except
I
for
mean,
this
you're going
shot.
to the right places.
All right,
So, there you go.
here we go. All right, I would ask the photographer, why did you take this shot? Like, what is it about seeing the dirty undershoe of someone?
That's what my mind. I mean, if it was just the lower part of the shoe with the shadows,
Maybe.
Now I still wouldn't take the shot.
No.
But it maybe. But seeing
Because it's
the
just a
dirty
shoe.
bottom of the shoe,
Yeah, that's nasty.
it just that.
But the whole thing is like, even if you did just get the bottom of it, you'd look at it and go, okay, that's a shoe.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's.
That's
I
a
mean,
shoe.
but
Here.
again, you could take the effort to crop out that distract. I mean, seeing the bottom top shoot, it's doing nothing,
There.
Yeah, I
What
mean,
would
you could
say
do
about
that.
this photo?
You could do that, but that's about it.
You'd go,
And
it's a shoe.
It's
You're not
just a
going to
shoe.
go, wow, amazing shoe, incredible shoe. It's just a shoe. All right, so, and then this. What is this even a picture of? If you had to give it a name, you could just call it Messy Forest.
Yeah, and it's
Where do I look? And
leaning
what's the
or something
subject?
too.
And
or
you
the
can't
trees
just
are
say the
leaning.
subject is the scene. There's got to be a focal point for a photo to be.
I think they're trying. It's that path thing. They're seeing photos of people shooting past, but you got to have the path
That's
lead to somewhere, or fall off to
Yeah.
something, or go into a mountain, or intersect with a.
This is the best, hands down, of the three. I'm not sure I would have left this stick and this log sticking into it. And there's some funky post-processing happening over here. It's the best of the three, but you got to go to 500px too.
You did
start
some things.
looking.
You did some things right. You got down low,
You got down low.
which was right.
Yeah.
But you got down low for nothing. It wasn't. There was no foreground element to get down low to.
Yeah.
Or it's not leading lines. There's nothing. It's
go to
kinda-
500px and type in forest. You know, give me a second here.
Yeah, like
Pop
forest
off
path.
Pop off and look
Try
at
it like
Eric.
forest path on
All right.
500px.
Show Eric.
Yeah,
Just so I
show
can
me.
get this. Look. Hello.
Hello.
Control
Hello.
room.
Hello.
There
Hey,
you go.
how's it
Show
going?
Eric. Give me
He's
a
gonna go
second.
look for a forest path.
Yeah, let
is
me-
what
give
he's
me a
gonna do.
second here.
Because
Hold
I think that's what you're going for. You're going for something where it's like the what are those? The dark hedges in
Yeah, in Ireland, Northern
Ireland,
yeah.
where you've got that row, and then the road kind of falls off into the forest.
Well, I'm gonna look at just
like that's what you're
forest.
going for there. But that was not really a path. That was a path to. There was no path to no. There's path to nowhere. It's like there's no leading line.
It's a
There's
path
no.
to nowhere.
There's no subject like he's talking about. There's just nothing. The subject, while it could be the forest, it wasn't telling you anything. And now he's still looking for.
Well, there's so many to
path.
choose from.
Yeah, forest
I wanna,
path
like-
is what we want. And
Well,
then with the other one, you
Here's one, and it's not
Okay.
phenomenal, but it's all right.
yeah,
The path really stands out
yeah,
in this picture, and there's just a ton of them. You can just look all over the place, and there's all kinds of little paths. Like look at this one here, and this one, and this one, and this one. You know, you can just look at any.
yeah.
of
Like
these.
that leads to the road. Now they also have something down there, like
Even if you erase the
people.
people, you would have that bright object. that
Yes,
it
you'd have
leads you
something to lead yourself to.
Yeah, spend a
That's
little
it.
time here looking at some of these images, and it'll help you to be able to, because it's not camera stuff. There's
Yep.
it's you don't need to buy a new lens. You don't need a different body. You don't need a better tripod. It's none of that stuff. It really is about, you know what it is? I don't think you know what makes a good photo. And if you don't know what makes a good photo, it's like, I'm going to build a house, and you go, do you have a blueprint? No, I'll just wing it. That's what it feels like. You got to have some kind of goal. Like, I'm looking for this thing. I'm looking for this type of path. I'm looking for this type of light. All right. It's just like you're shooting whatever you can get. It feels like you're building a house without a plan. If you don't have a plan, you wind up with shots like you're getting. You got to work on those. And I know I feel terrible because we're getting a lot of critiques today that are not fun for the people watching, but at least we don't know their names. Here we go. Let's move on. It's like Angkor Wat.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's Rome. I'm not quite sure where this is. Could be Thailand. Could be Japan. That's Rome for sure.
Yeah, I love the Blue Hour. I love the Blue Hour.
I've shot this thing to death on numerous trips to Rome. And I hate to say this because this is a beautifully done photo of what I think is the ugliest building in Rome.
Yeah.
The building, it used to be a prison, right? And then it was a fort, or vice versa. It was a fort and then a prison. It was never designed to be pretty. And the views from there are awesome. Like you can go up there and there's a restaurant, and you can tour it, and there's the views from there, but the views of there, I've never seen really a shot of that
They did a good
prism.
job here.
They did a good job.
You got a strong leading line with those concentric circles leading you to a top third of the image over there. You got the reflection.
Well.
I mean,
it's composed very well. But I can't explain this. All three of these photos are taken by an obviously experienced photographer.
Yes.
They're good at their post-processing.
They wake up at the right time.
They wake up at the right time. They're in amazing places.
Yes.
But I'm not loving them, and I can't put my finger on it.
Well,
are they too far away? I don't know what it is.
Well, it's part of it is, I mean, I also think it's probably that they're not close enough to the action. Like, you don't see it. Like, that's too far away. Like, that looks beautiful, but it's the wrong. It's all in shadows.
Yeah, and by
can't
the
really
way,
tell.
you got glows. You got glows here.
Yes.
Now, I'll show you how to get rid of those, but do you see the glows around stuff? Like there's a white glow going all the way around here. Here's how to get rid of that, by the way, just in case you care. Get the rubber stamp tool, the clone stamp tool in Photoshop. Go and change your mode up here in the top menu to darken. And then what darken does, it says only affect the pixels that are lighter than where I hold the option key and click. So I'm clicking in the clouds and watch. It only affects the glow. Oh, I just messed that up. Here we go. Over here, and look. You paint right along it and the glow is gone. And you got to glow like all over. Like you got to get rid of all of these glows. And over here,
I mean,
you get glows.
that's also the of the three, that's probably the most exotic location yet the weakest photo.
Yeah. So and I feel bad because besides showing you a cool Photoshop technique, I'm not really helping because
I agree with what you're saying. It's like you're too far away from that main element. So the main element in the photo is these buildings, and you're just a little too far away from them.
Yeah.
And it might be focal length. It could just be getting in at like 24 or 35, which I think you're out at like, I think you're at like 18 or 20. Yeah, something, in there.
Maybe we go in here for a more dynamic photo. We still get a little reflection because I think that's nice. You don't always see that. And then open up the shadows a bit more so we can kind of see the temple.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think you have to see the reflection, more of the reflection, but
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't have
a hard one because you're right. You're just so far away from it.
I feel bad because you're a good photographer. You're obviously very good, and you're going to great places. I wish I could be more help. I can't quite put my finger on it. Why I'm not like, oh my God, these are beautiful.
Go to the middle one. What's the middle one? The
middle one is my favorite.
Yeah. That's my favorite too. And I think that's look at how prominent the building is in the frame versus the other two.
And all three of them have reflections, so the reflections are big. Even this one, I think.
You could still come in.
You could come in a bit and make it more dynamic, but you can't come in very far. You're going to cut off and you got great clouds over there, but I think that would still make it stronger.
Help. Yeah, that would definitely help.
Anyway, but I'm not being a lot of help except for maybe
that's
what Eric and I are both echoing is tighter would make them more dynamic. All right. We're ready for a break, thank goodness. So let's take a short one. We're coming back. We're going to try to get through 20 images today. And we're well on our way, so stick with us. We'll be right back.
Hello everybody, my name is Aaron Van. We're here at my studio in Orlando, Florida, on location shooting lighting for food photography. I am a commercial advertising food and beverage photographer. This is my first class with the Kelby One community, and I'm so excited to share with you my knowledge and my perspective on how to light for food. I'm gonna get into the nitty-gritty details. We're gonna get into some technical stuff, but at the end of the day, what we're really looking for is I wanna give you the tools to have a base of knowledge of understanding of how to light food. In this class, we're going to get into some of the details about sensor size, lights, cameras, lenses. We're going to look into aperture and how apertures really play a role in food photography or in photographing something so tight and so close, and how much light we need to shoot those subjects the way we want to. Not only will you have a general knowledge base to be able to light any scene in a tabletop environment, but I want you to have all the pieces and parts and tools that you need to be able to put together your own recipe for your style. I want you to take this lighting and this information and create your look and feel and figure out how you want to light your subject. Come join me for my first class on lighting for food photography on kelby1.com.
Have you ever gone to the movies and after spending your $30 on popcorn and a ticket, you walked out of the theater thinking, man, that movie was just an excuse to sell toys? But I have started to think that maybe I can look at those toys a different way. And I am a storyteller at heart. And the stories I want to tell are based on those cinematic universes that I love so much. So maybe I could use those toys to tell the stories that I want to tell. The only limit is my imagination. The best part is, you could do the same thing. So join me for my class on unlocking storytelling with toy photography, only on Kelby One.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Canon.
Hey, we're back. Scott Kelby here with Eric Kuna. We're not having a fun day today. It's not
We're
going.
trying to help. We're trying to help.
We're trying to help. We really are. But my goodness, you know, it's just, we want to give honest critiques. And if you're going to give honest critiques, they're not going to be, you know, not going to be glowing. So, you ready to
All
not
right,
glow?
let's go.
Let's not glow some more. Here we go.
Oh, no.
Now, I'm predisposed to like shots of musicians.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Well, the first one's definitely the best.
It's the best by far, but what
It's
fascinating,
not the
interesting, wonderful
best.
thing are you showing?
Yeah.
Yep, it's a guy playing keyboards. There's got a Nord. He's playing in a club. It's not.
It'd be like a good stock image for like, I need a keyboard shot with a person.
Yeah, but it's a shot with no soul. It's just, yes, that is a person playing keyboards in a bar.
It's your best image.
And what it is making it black and white didn't turn it into a good image.
Yes.
It's just a nothing image. It's like you'd see this in stock results when there's 22,000 stock results.
There'd be a stronger one in there, but this would be in the mix on the
but this is what I would, if I was sitting with a photographer at a bar, I'd go, so what are you seeing that I'm not seeing? Like, so okay guys, Jay Maisel did that book. It's his seminal work, I think, called Light, Gesture, and Color, which says you either have to have amazing light, amazing color, or an amazing gesture.
Or a combination.
Or a combination to make it stronger.
And the trifecta is what you're going for.
There's not amazing light. It's light. It's not an amazing gesture. It's not a particularly interesting anything.
Color can be black and white.
Yeah, color can be black and white. It is black and white's a color. White's a color. Black's a color. I don't know. And then this one, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
It's a shot of nothing. Now, if the guy was doing anything interesting, like if he was in the middle of a note and really ringing it out and it was that emotional moment or something.
This also might be another thing that's going on, is this might have been an amazing night at this bar. Amazing performance.
Right.
These guys might have done something that spoke to you and you remembered it, and you transfer that into these photos.
Yeah.
And you went, oh, but this moment when he's like, maybe he's so into it, he's like contemplating what's going on, but like we just get like a guy with a mic on his forehead.
It looks like he's
who's looking
between
down
songs.
like he's upset or looking at a set list.
Or he's looking at the set list, or he's about to start singing. He's
Yeah.
about to do something cool.
He's not doing something, he's not gesturing,
Yeah,
he's
you-
not.
You're seeing something in these photos that we are just not seeing.
And that happens,
And
and
then-
it happens to all of us. Same thing here, I think, is that was a moment, you're on vacation.
You're having a great
and
time.
You're having and it's like, I'm going to blast the flash.
Yep.
I'm just going to blast it.
And you're going to blast it from down low, the most unflattering
Yes.
position, and then you cut off her hands.
Yep.
Yeah, there's
But I imagine you smell the air, the sea breeze.
Yeah,
you're in the moment. You hear the music going
Right.
on, and
So-
we don't get any of that.
So we talk about this quite a bit, which is when you look at these photos, you're remembering an emotion that, man, that night that band was cooking, and I can't believe they let me up on stage to take that picture behind the keyboard. And man, remember we were at that that luau. That's not a
Oh,
luau.
it was the luau, so awesome.
We're at this, God, luau's are the worst. We're at a luau, and we're just having such a great time, and we're all having so much fun. And the pork, the pig
Yeah,
slowly
and that-
spinning on the spit,
That,
and you're
that
just
hula dancer without
and you
hands.
see every bit of that when you look at these photos, and what I see is a guy looking down. So
Guy looking down,
you're
a person playing the
attaching
keyboard.
emotion to these photos that the people looking at them are
Yep.
not going to have any context or any way to do that.
I think that happens, and I'm sorry we're beating this up, but that happens more often than not when you're starting out. You have to be able to distance yourself from the emotion that you bring to the photo.
All right, let's move on
Yeah.
because I want to get as many photos as we can. All right, here we go. I love the last one.
I actually like the last two.
Yeah, this one's good too.
Yes.
It's kind of interesting because you see a car up there.
Yes, and
It's
the
kinda-
light.
This is kind of. I just love the scene. It's an interesting scene. And
There's a path that leads you somewhere, and something's happening.
yeah, and you look straight to that
Yeah.
car. This is just wonderful.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's a little crooked,
Yeah.
as is your other shot. Let's just go to the geometry, and let's just get that horizon line kind of straight. There we go. That's straighter.
Yeah, that's better.
Because look where we were, right? It was tilted pretty badly. It could actually use a tad more, I think. All right. There you go. So look at the difference. That was, come on. All right. But that's I do
That's
really like that.
definitely the strongest shot.
Right. Then this one actually is good too, but it's crooked as well.
In the, I think it's the.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Watch. Wait, I'm in the wrong program. Hold on. Yeah, too late. I blew it. Okay.
It's crooked.
It's a little crooked. Not bad. Not like the other
Not
one.
like the other one.
The first shot is crooked.
Well, the first shot is the weakest because you're just
Yes.
not sure what, like.
Which boat am I supposed to look
It's a
at?
sunset with the boats. and-
Now, if you were willing to do a couple things, number one, flip and straighten it. That's number one. Number two is if you were willing to take the time to get rid of the other boats and just leave one boat, this would be so much more of a strong picture. Get rid of these, get rid of that, get rid of this, get rid of all this. And it's going to take you a minute. I'm just doing it really quick and sloppy, as you can see. Let me see if I can use the patch tool to get rid of this mess because it doesn't seem like it wants to go away. Let me line that up. There we go. Get rid of these goobers here.
Yeah, you gotta spend a little bit more time on
Yeah,
this,
I'm doing
but
this like
it's
super
just quick,
slop
quick.
job, so to do better than I'm doing here. But if you just left that, and then I think you could also get rid of some of
then
this
you can crop in
nothingness.
that side and hide some of that stuff anyways.
Yeah, because that's not doing you any favors. I think you could wind up having a stronger shot. When you have all those different boats just kind of in there, you don't know where to look and all. I think that, but at the end of the day, it's another sunset shot. Sunset happens every day at that time. And at every beach in the world, it looks like
And
this.
it felt very special at the time.
Yeah, your other ones are much, much better, much, much stronger. But you're doing good job overall, which is
Yeah.
nice to see.
And you're getting to very interesting places.
Yep, here we go.
Ooh, nice.
It's a nice macro.
I love it.
Okay, look at this flower.
I love that. That's a flower shot.
That's a flower shot. Remember the one we showed you
Wow.
before? And you're like, yeah.
All right.
Nice. And the
Nice.
vibrant reds and you got a
shadows,
really
the
nice
highlights.
and close. You got a nice flower.
Great
The
light.
only thing that I would do if it were me, I would cheat. I would select probably one of these petals.
You're going to try to put a petal in there?
Yep.
Yep, I see it.
Now this is going to be a hack job, much like what you just saw a minute ago.
But if you spent just a few minutes with
Yeah,
it.
just a few minutes, but you got to fill in that gap over
Yep,
there.
Yep.
Now to do that correctly, you're going to need to mask away, hold on, the edges here where the other flower overlaps. Because you want
Yeah,
that.
but I mean, if you spent 10 minutes,
yeah,
you could have that perfect.
Maybe not even 10, just to get it back there behind the other. Looking for where the edge is. There it is. All right. Just to fill in that gap better than I did. But you see what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like it draws your eye to the gap.
Yeah.
You don't want to be looking in the place where a petal is missing. So anyway, but really great
However,
shot. So
that's an awesome shot of a
that's
flower.
an awesome shot. And you knew I do not like insect shots, but this is a good one.
Yeah.
This is really well done. It's super close. It's also soft and interesting. These are just your use of color is phenomenal.
Well, and you've got something interesting happening,
Yes.
You've got something interesting happening in every shot.
Yep,
Plus the
very.
lighting in every shot is great.
Can you imagine framed these three on the wall
Oh,
next
yeah.
to each other would be terrific.
Those, like we were talking, those earlier, flower shots, macro shots, those are macro shots.
Good job. Good
Great
job.
job.
Here we go.
Wow.
I love this first one. I
Yeah.
think the lighting is so subtle and nice, and you got some little Photoshop highlights and stuff going in there.
I really like all of them personally.
Yeah, they're all really good. I love this second one.
Yeah, I love like the styling.
The only
the
thing
colors.
you got to fix, this is so good, is you can see where the light's coming from up here. Mm-hmm. So what if you went in there,
Yeah.
right, with
You're
the
going to take a little bit
graduated
off the
filter,
background.
darken the exposure, and just have it match just
Yeah, just pull a
What the heck
gradient.
happened? Oh, wrong thing. Wait a minute. Do I have the graduated filter? Yes, I do. All right. Just
Yep,
up
yep.
there to darken,
I-
to
yeah,
make
definitely.
it match the
Yeah,
rest
yeah,
of the
yeah.
image. Oh, just
Oh,
did
too
something
much.
bad. So, no, that was it
Yeah,
added the
that's-
second one.
Yeah.
And maybe pull the highlights back.
No, it's
Have to
great.
drag it a little further. What if we rotated it, Eric? What if we, let me go rotate it a bit. Come on. There, and maybe one more, like over here, not as much.
Yeah, just sculpting the light away from the background.
Yeah,
in the
because
corner.
it's just
draws your
watch,
eyes
watch
to the
the
middle.
difference. See, look at the
Yeah.
difference. See how bright it is up there? Now you're bound because you've done such a nice job of balancing all the colors in her outfit and the
Oh,
lighting.
I mean that's a cool. I love that. That's my
That's-
favorite actually.
That's an awesome shot.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, it probably is my favorite too. But I love the first one. This photographer's crushing it.
Yeah.
This one's interesting too, and they're all great. But that's my favorite. No, that's my favorite.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
With the fix.
Especially with your
with the fix, then
it's
this
perfect.
one, and then but they're all good. You're doing a good job, really good job. And in the two shots where you can see your subject's face, you're getting good reaction and emotions. It's just really, it's good stuff. Mm-hmm. Thank you for bringing some good stuff to the grid.
That felt good.
Hey, look at these. I think these are very well done.
Ooh, nice.
I think this is lovely. Do you know what I think is really great about this shot? The way they included that little corner of the view out the window. Mm-hmm. That's just a very clever composition. This is obviously a put together still life, which most still lifes are. You don't wander upon a still life usually.
Yeah, no, that's nice. I mean, it's very timeless. Yeah.
That's very nicely
Nice.
done. This is my least favorite of the three.
Yeah, definitely the first one's the home
But
run.
the first one is
That's the home
phenomenal.
run.
This one's very nicely done.
Nice.
Meh. But you're on a path and you're on a journey there, and you're doing some great
Yeah,
stuff. So
definitely do
keep
more of that.
Keep it up. Reminds me of Brigitte's work. All right. Ooh, we like planes, don't we?
I do.
So this is interesting. This photographer has taken the shots and turned them into art.
Yes.
So these. Can I tell you what these look like? Somebody's setting these up to sell. Like these are look like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, it's like making them into kind of looking like watercolors
Yeah,
and
but
stuff
but
like
but
that.
with the name of the plane and
Yep.
the light vignetting around it, these look like they were made to. I'm going to frame these and sell these at an air show kind of thing.
Yeah. Now the text doesn't go with the.
That's what I was going to.
Yeah.
This is going to sound weird.
Yeah.
But I have a tip for the person that did this that will make your text look better. First off, your text is too big.
Yeah.
It is quite a bit too big. But then, so when you're using text in a photo, what you're looking for is contrast. I think your font's good. It's way too big. So it's probably 40% too big. But then the where it says Korean War Hero under it, I would use the same font, but use two things: a lighter weight, right? So that it looks like you're using a bold weight for the top, for the headline. For the subhead, use the same font, a lighter weight. So if that is bold, you're going to use light. Or if you don't have a light, use regular. But then here's the other thing you're going to do, because that'll add contrast right there. Dark headline, light type under it, adds contrast. Believe me, people won't be like, I don't know what that says. Your font's too thin. It's not going to happen. But here's the other thing to add contrast. So look, show me on screen. What you need to do is add space between the letters. Track the letters out for Korean War Hero. So the top letters are tight and the bottom letters are wide with lots of space between the letters. It'll spread out a little longer, which will make it, you have a stacking thing where you've got big letters and then real small. So go big letters and then have that with the space will make it feel more balanced. You'll adding two different types of contrast. Spacing and weight. So otherwise, they're great. They're great. But let's fix that text and maybe even get it down
that
a
would
little lower.
definitely help.
But the photos are on the money.
Yeah.
They're clean. They're so clean. Like, look at them all. Like, look, they're on the runway and it's clean. You're not seeing a bunch of junk behind it. Here, you're not seeing a bunch of junk. You got nice propeller spin. They're just really nicely done. And these are very, very saleable images. All right, let's move on. Oh, now, come on.
They look nice from the thumbnail.
Come on. So this is that place where I wouldn't hike to in the Dolomites, and then you see a photo like this, and you're like, man, I should have. This is just beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
That's very nice. I'm not crazy
It could
about
be
the
better
color.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful. Looks like Tuscany. Gorgeous. This photographer is rocking it, and they're doing what's necessary.
And look at the light.
Look at the light.
Man, the
Oh,
first
it's
one
beautiful.
too. Yeah,
And it's
all of
soft. And look at the light here.
Yeah.
Everything has got a nice soft feel. I mean, these are wonderful images. That image right there, I'd be
I
entering
love
that in
that
every
one.
contest.
I love that one.
All right, we got to take a pause. We got to take a quick one. We have some more images. I want to try to get through them. We also have our winners of the software and all that stuff coming up. So all that happens in just like 30 seconds, maybe 45, could be 50, could be 2 minutes. I don't know. They don't tell me.
I'm Jefferson Graham, a California-based writer-photographer, and I've got a great new class for you here on Kelby One, how to photograph one of the most beautiful cities in the world, San Francisco. There are so many iconic shots of the city by the bay, from the Golden Gate Bridge to the Painted Ladies, crazy Lombard Street, and those unforgettable hilly streets. Please join me as I show you how to get those killer shots and then some right here exclusively on Kelby One.
Would you believe us if we told you that you could fit studio lighting in your pocket? Well, Lytra has made it possible. Lytra is a global award-winning brand that designs and manufactures professional-grade camera lights that are compact, rugged, and waterproof. Whether you're using Lytra gear in a photo studio or underwater, Lytra's mission is to provide content creators with flexible and unlimited lighting tools that can mount on any camera, anywhere. Their lights come with a high CRI or color rendering index, making them some of the most color accurate lights in the industry. Due to the light's compact and rugged design, photographers are able to use the lights in ways that their studio lighting never could. Lytra has also made multiple lighting accessories available to fit your every need as a creator. Whether you're shooting portraits, nailing a product shot, or even flying your drone, they have got you covered. Lytra enables photographers and filmmakers to focus on their craft and create something beautiful. What will you create?
Make sure you don't miss any episodes of The Grid by subscribing to Apple's podcast app or iTunes. It's free, and we even have a special audio-only version too. So sign up today.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the world's most compact tripod base.
Hey, we're back. Scott and Eric, we're doing blind photo critiques. Let's go. Here's the first one.
We're doing lightning round here.
I love this.
Nice.
Patterns are great, and the way you've got the color and the shadows is really very, very well done. Awesome. I don't know where this is, but I love it. It's beautiful. If you're watching, can you please tell us in the chat where that is? Is it Oman? Is it? I don't know where it's at. But I have to ask a question.
I wish the foreground there.
Can I ask a question? Take a look on screen, Eric. This. What the hell happened here?
Man. Wow.
Did you loan your camera to somebody else and they grabbed it and took a shot when you weren't looking? Seriously, what the heck? I don't even know what to say. You've got two phenomenal shots, and this is just nothing.
This is what's hard with it, is when you see the third shot, you go, were you lucky on the first two?
Yeah, were you lucky? Were you at a workshop? Like, what's the deal? What happened?
They were going for the fog.
You had the eye for this.
But yeah, I mean.
And the eye for this.
Wow.
And then you fell and your camera accidentally took a shot. What happened here? Seriously, what is it that you're seeing in this ugly, gray,
it's nothingness fog.
Nothing photo?
But I bet there was something there. It definitely looks like you could make something, but not where you're standing.
Did you just see fog and think, ooh, I love fog. Fog looks great in pictures. Because come on, look, bright, vibrant, awesome. What? Come on.
All right. Yeah, lose that one.
Yeah, lose
you
the heck out of that shot.
You can tell in the thumbnails.
Hey, we're almost done.
Football.
Got some football? All right, so the good things are you're getting somewhat peak moment of action. I don't know if getting the hike is actually a peak moment of action. You got him blocking and running. That's not so bad. This is it's a guy running with the ball.
Yeah, but that one tends to be kind of the strongest.
I actually talk about this type of shot in my talk from the keynote. So go watch my Photoshop World keynote where I actually talk about this exact type of shot. Now, but that's not the problem with these shots. Your problem is you are way, way, way over processing these shots. Way over processing them. They're way too colorful. They're way too contrasty. They're way too vibrant. Too much clarity and everything.
All right, you can tell the uniforms are kind of getting dingy.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. First step is do not add clarity and stuff like that to white uniforms. It makes them look dingy and dirty. Number two is use clarity or the texture slider or both of them together on detail areas like the ball and like his helmet and like their helmets and stuff. It looks too wrinkly. It brings out every highlight.
Right. So you're saying use like a local brush.
Yeah, just paint over detail.
Right.
Their faces look funky. Like, look at his face. It looks weird. Like, don't paint over their face with this stuff. And the grass, that doesn't look like real grass. It doesn't even look like AstroTurf. It doesn't look like artificial turf. It just looks
It's just starting to
funky.
look just fake.
Yeah, you just
Like,
you're
beyond fake.
Yeah, you're it's way over the top. It's not 20%, it's like 60, 70%. Way over the top. It doesn't
It
even
just starts making everything look dingy.
Yeah, and it looks fake. It looks weird. You got to get off this stuff. I mean,
You gotta get off the clarity.
You got to get off the clarity.
Step away from the clarity.
Yeah, too much open shadows. Everything is just all too much. So you just got to back off. That's where you're at with those. All right, let's. What do we got here? 2 more. That's it.
All right.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Boy.
All right, so
some very interesting cars with
really
a lot of bad stuff happening around them.
No, I'm going to help you out here. You're going to make some great car shots.
Yeah.
Thing number 1 is you got to do it later in the day. Now this one is the one that is the best shot because your angle is down low. I would say get down lower, but here's what your big problem is.
You could probably make that into something though. If you
Yeah,
wanted to.
but here's your issue. Look at all these reflections of
Yeah,
other
and the
cars and
cars.
trees. Guys, if you look at professional car shots, you don't see all that crap.
The pole in the background sticking out of the car that looks like
This pole and it's just not a good background. You got a great car,
a
but can I
leaf
tell you
sitting
something?
in front of the car.
Yeah. There's a lot of detail missing in here. So, like for example, you should see that grill detail in here. Hold on. And you should see the grill detail down there. You should see more detail in the wheel. I'm just slopping through this, guys. You know that. But none of that will fix the problem that you've got terrible reflections. There's a reason why they carefully position the cars. Now you turn the wheel and all that. You're down low. You're doing a lot of things right. But here, let's go to the next one. This one. The first thing you got to do is, well, it's weird and crooked. So let's try to fix that. All right, so weird and crooked aside, you have all the reflections of the lights overhead showing up on the car, which is really bad. Go get the, am I in Photoshop? Where's my toolbar? Hang on. Oh, now what have I done? Open. All right, jump off me for a second. Jump on Eric for a second with the camera and let me figure out why this is not.
So, yeah.
There we go. I got it.
The thing with all these shots.
I got it. Sorry.
All right, back to Scott.
All right, look, you got to go in here with the brush and get rid of all of these things. Every one of these that you got in here that are just random shots from overhead in the shop aren't going to help you. So get rid of those. Get rid of this. Get rid of all this. This, that. That's just kind of step 1. Get rid of every little weird light reflection that's not supposed to be there. They're not highlights. Those are literally the lights from above, right?
And this is the problem shooting cars. I tell you, I've shot cars before a lot, and this is the problem with it. It's spending that time cleaning them up.
Yeah. And then you've got.
It doesn't matter what you do. They're all they're just reflective
you're shooting
surfaces.
them. It's like shooting into a mirror.
Yeah.
Right. All right. The third one, this one. I'm going to show you a couple things real quick. Let me go. Wait. Let me go back to that. I want to show you something that's commonly done in retouching.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, but on that one, with that one, when you bring it back up, you talked about positioning of the cars.
Yeah.
And I just think you got to work on the positioning too.
All right. Let's click this. And let's go and watch. This is very commonly done, what I'm going to show you here. All right, I made a little path. I'm going to make it into a selection. I'm going to fill it with white. I'm going to blur it.
That's a good tip.
And then I'm going to lower the opacity to add a nice highlight. You see this a lot.
Yes, like
and
your intentionally creating a specular highlight.
I drew kind of a funky. It's kind of a
and that might be a little too much. Yeah.
Well, I don't think
too dramatic.
I think my shape is too stupid.
Yeah. It's a little much. Yeah.
And my position for it is not great either. Let's maybe put it up here. But anyway, this is very commonly done. And then what you could do is, watch, add a gradient at the end to where it fades away. Other way. Like that.
Yes.
That looks better. So look, I'm going to turn it on and off. And so that's commonly added. Little highlights there. And you can decide how bright you want it. But the other thing you got to do is, you have to go. So this is your initiative. This is the hard part of being a photographer. You got to go and talk to the owner of the car, the owner of the garage or whatever, and say, I would love to take a picture of this car, but there's another white car right behind it.
Yes.
Can you move it out? And then you got to get rid of the hoses and stuff.
Yeah.
All that stuff's got to go. You could leave the tires, but you got to get rid of that other car. And you could say, well, I don't know the owner. Yeah, this is the hard part. You got to go.
Hard part,
This is what Eric does all the time.
But that's where you go to the last one, and I look at the last photo. It almost looks like you positioned that car.
Yes.
This car was positioned. I
Agreed.
mean, maybe it wasn't.
No.
But I mean, you're running into the mailbox on the one side. You got that barrier on the back side of the car sticking there. You got the container behind it. There's so many things going on that you had control over the placement. You got to be concerned about the background just as much as the foreground.
Yes.
And that's
Everything
what I think
Eric
with
said.
that is like you had control of this, and you did the right things. Like Scott was saying, you turned the wheel. That was a big one.
He's
a
not
lot of
down
people
low
don't
enough.
do that.
He or she is not down low enough, though.
Yes.
That you need to be. You look like you're standing or
you're
maybe
definitely
leaning
up
over.
above that fender.
You need to be on your knees.
Yeah.
This is when a platypod comes in handy.
Yeah.
You need to be down really low. Now, I'm going to give you one more thing before we go. Now, this is going to be very crude what I'm going to show you, but your problem, again, is these reflections. If you can do this in the right location late in the afternoon, like at almost sunset, an hour before sunset, you can get a solid line there of the sky, and you can get rid of almost, oh, look at this, you got parking lot and junk in there. You have two options here. Option number one, go in with the healing brush and take out every single line. It's a pain in the butt, I know, but that's what you got to do. Wow, it's not letting me here, I'll have to use the clone stamp tool because it wants to keep picking up other areas. And just go in and get them all. See that little gap in the highlight here? You got to get rid of that gap. Oh, I'm in darken mode. I'm like, why isn't this working?
Yeah, that'll do you.
Get rid of that little line there. You just got to clean this car up.
Yeah, simplify
and go
everything.
through every one of these and then get rid of them. Now, at some point, it's going to become too, like on this fender, and there's going to be places where you're just like, so here's what you do. Add a new layer. Go sample the color of the car. So let's just say we choose this color here. It's kind of a reddish. Get the paintbrush tool, and you're going to have to paint over all of this. And it's going to look bad. Just give me a minute. Oh, don't paint over the highlight. I'm just doing this quick because we're running out of time. Now, it's not going to look right at all. As you can see, it looks like I'm painting over the car. Just exactly what I'm doing.
That's exactly what you're doing, yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm just painting over the car. You took the spray paint can of the flat.
Yeah, but what you're going to do then is you're going to go in here and add noise. Go under the noise menu, go to add noise, and it brings texture back. Make sure it's Gaussian and monochromatic, and I got way too much noise on here. So let's go to 2, maybe 2.5. And if you do it right, it actually can look really good. That looks kind of like butt. But when you take it away, this is really to show you, look at all the junk that was there. You got to clean all this stuff. And I'm going to show you a shot that I did. Hold on. Give me a sec. Can you bop off me for a sec?
Yeah, but that's what it is. It's managing your backgrounds just as much as your foregrounds a lot of times. And then also, if you could just get to a place where you do have a simpler background. You might actually be able to find parking lots that don't have lines in them, or places where you're not going to have trees in the skyline like Scott was talking about. If you start shooting later in the day, you're going to start getting very straight lines, straight horizon lines if you're in a place without a lot of trees or buildings around you. So if you're going to get into shooting cars, you got to like find those locations you can put the cars that don't cause a lot of work. That's why a lot of these the professional guys go into those big studios and do that.
All right, so here's a shot I did of a red Tesla
in a studio.
In a studio, but I added the background, the texture you see there. It was just it was a gray. It was a white cove, but it was
that we found locally.
That we found locally.
Asked them and we rented
called them up and asked if we could shoot in there.
Yeah,
they
that's
said
all we
yes.
did.
But look at the sides of the car. Those are all done using the technique that I showed you. The reason is we're in this big studio. Everything in that studio is reflected in the side of that car. And Eric was with me.
Yeah.
And we spent hours trying to hide it and move stuff and just cover it. But at the end of the day, you couldn't get rid of it all. So I sent this shot to Tim Wallace, who is the god of all car and luxury item photographers. And Tim's like, dude, you got to clean this crap up. And he was right. So I did the technique that you see where I just showed you, where you paint the color on the car. And look how nice and clean it is. I still have highlights in places and stuff. And it took a bit of doing. This was not a 5-minute project. But you know what's funny is the background was a 2-minute project. I laid the background on top, switched to what you call it?
Yeah,
overlay mode.
Yeah,
because it was just a gray solid background. Give me a second, I'll see if I can find the gray background. Hold on.
Yeah, but that's the key with that is a lot of times finding those locations, finding those places that put you in a better position to where you're not taking out a bunch of stuff. And I think that's the key with the cars, because everything's reflective. Everything's reflective. Yeah, unless you have a matte finish on your car.
Yeah, take a look. Here's the shot before I added the texture-y background. So it's just on like a painted concrete floor. But you can also see, look at this right here. Yeah. That wasn't in the final. I got rid of some of this junk, and look at this curve here.
And yeah, that was after we worked on it.
Yeah, this was after I worked on it.
But after like an hour.
I sent it to Tim, and Tim's
out.
like, "Dude, what's this thing here? What's this crap?" Oh yeah. Anyway, but that's so adding the texture, right? All right, give me a second. I'll show you the texture part. Just give me 2 seconds to go dig one up.
Oh,
can you switch off me there, bro?
There you go. So we're back over to, let's see, where we're at. So we're adding the background to the car, right?
Yeah, all right. I'm just grabbed a background. It's not the right one, but watch. I added the background on top of it. So the background, let's make it bigger. Switch the mode to overlay. And that's how I got the background on there. And then all I had to do, and I didn't leave it that heavy. I backed it off a little bit. And then all you have to do is, well, now what I would do, I would super cheat. I would just go to select subject, have it select the car for me, and just knock that out, hit delete, and you're done.
Boom.
Done, boom, done. But I didn't have that luxury when I did this a few years ago, so I had to, but I still think that the, might be soft light might look better for that background. There you go, soft light. And it gives that texture in the background. And I think also the background could be, you don't want it to be too bright, so I probably added a gradient here. Let's do this, and then we'll be done. Gradient, and darken it, and drag it this way. Something like that. Maybe pull back some highlights too. Whoop. Yeah, you don't want that foreground so bright. And then while we're here, let's add one going this way too.
Yeah, we can keep on going.
Yeah, we could just go and go and go.
That was fun. I love shooting cars.
Oh yeah, shooting cars is awesome. But notice the low angle we're at, right?
Yeah.
So when you look at that guy's or gal's photo, you can see a lot of things in common with this.
Yep.
The low angle, though I'm really low.
That's the difference. You were really low. We were actually on. You were on one of those telescoping floor stand kind of things.
All right, so there's that. Let's look at the last photo. Last one of the day. Wrong program. Hold on. Last one of the day. Well, this is interesting.
Yeah, I like that.
But wait. The one, I really want you to see this next one, Eric. You ready? Come on, that is a phenomenal shot.
I love that one.
That shot has just got a lot of emotion and impact. It's what I want this shot to be.
Yeah.
Because you've got the pilots, and it looks like it's some kind of a tribute because these pilots look a bit older. And I love that you got low for the reflection, and the jet's very cool.
Yeah, I mean, good on you for the creativity part of it. Like getting the reflection, not cutting off part of the plane, all that stuff, like good. But the last one
one has just got so much fun. This one's kind of, I don't know. Now I know it's very hard to get a decent prop spin on a helicopter. We know because we've tried many times.
Yeah, I mean, I got to get down at 1/30th.
Yeah, it's hard to do, and so the prop spin looks a little funky, but the background is not helping this shot. The background looks stuck in, and the background looks kind of funky. I don't know.
It does.
So this is, I think, a shot with tremendous potential. I almost would want, and see if it fits me, Eric. I would almost want those pilots way far forward.
Yeah, like
they're blending in with
pilots
the
are
plane.
too far away, or you just can't tell.
Yeah,
they kind of get lost.
They get lost. I would love to have those same pilots 50 or 60 feet forward and have the plane a little bit out of focus in the background and really make it about the pilots and the plane instead of just a scene. It's kind of all running together.
Yeah.
It's got great potential, but this one, dude, that is the shot we dream of.
That's the contest shot.
Dude, that's the
contest shot.
That's the what shot?
That's the contest. That's the
contest. Yeah, that's the contest winner. That's phenomenal.
That's the one to enter.
All right, we're so far over time.
Yes.
We've gone way too far. Eric, let's hit us with the winners.
Yeah, we got some winners here. So we got Jennifer Sansbury's winning the Platypod, and then we have or the Platypod kit, and then Adam Colvin's winning the Nick collection, and then we have Shannon Barnard winning the 7-Point System book, and then JCD is winning the DxO software. So there we go. Just email us over there at gridprize@kelby1.com. We'll verify your information, and then they'll send you out your prizes.
All right. For everyone who got a harsh critique today, which was almost everybody, the reason why we do these is to help you along your path. Not just you, but the people that are watching as well that might see the same things in their own photography. So please take it in the vein that it was delivered, which is truthful but trying to help. And in some cases today we got a little stuck and weren't able to help as much as we would like. But we're trying to come at this from helping you along the path. We get lots and lots and lots of letters from people. I get personal emails and notes of people that said, I was so angry when you did my critique because I knew you were right.
Well,
or
we've been doing these so long that I've actually had people that have said that in the years ago, that now their photography is phenomenal.
It's come so far.
But it was, and then the one person I think was very critical at first, then took it to heart, started changing, and you could see that change happening.
See the progression, yeah.
And now it's like light years.
Yeah, so you can take the information you gleaned today and you can be mad about it, or you can use it to propel you to be better and follow the advice that we gave you. And I mean, the worst that's going to happen is you could resubmit it and we wouldn't give you the same
Well, I mean,
critique.
here's the thing. Like, the other thing about this is like, honest, like, taking a photograph, you can see we weren't saying, oh, your ISO, your f-stop, your shutter speed, this camera brand, that camera brand. It wasn't that, right? And I think that part of photography is easy. Like, you know, you can have a camera, you can take pictures, anybody can take a picture, but then making a great photo is hard. And that's what this is all about. Yeah. It's just like that process to making a great photo.
Yeah, he's 100% right about it. We didn't tell anybody they needed a different lens. You needed a piece of gear. We did tell the one guy he needed an ND filter, but 2 shots later you saw he had an ND filter.
Yeah, I was just using it.
Yeah, in Venice, that canal, you don't get that at F22.
No.
I've got a 10 stop on there or something. Anyway, or as Mimo would say,
a 10 stoppa.
A stoppa. Anyway.
I see he has a 16 Estapa.
Thank you guys so much for sticking with us today. We also want to, of course, welcome On1 Software, maker of incredible plugins. We are very excited to have them on board. They're going to be doing some really cool stuff with us. We're excited about it, and you're going to be able to. You're going to see some stuff that they're doing that is just, and you're going to see Eric putting yet another noise reduction plugin.
Hey, I love noise reduction.
No, but I saw some of the write-ups on it.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean,
Dude,
it is amazing.
Raving about
it is amazing, the technology we have today. That's
well,
also
AI has changed noise reduction.
It is amazing.
Now it's not so much on your sensor.
Oh, yeah.
But now all the sensors are better, too.
I know. So it's like, hey, you got better sensor, lower noise, and better noise reduction tools. It's like, this is a perfect time.
Yeah, it is a great time to be a photographer.
Yes.
Thank you all. Thanks to my crew here and everybody for coming on in, and because we pretty much work from home till we come to the studio. That's today. Woo! We will see you guys. Next week. We got any guests? Anybody special?
Well, next week I might be at a launch. We'll see. We'll see. I'm actually gonna get out shooting. I got a launch. I got some shoots going on.
Good.
Getting out there.
I got some ideas for guests. So, all right, everybody, take care. We'll see you next week right here on The Grid.